All right, let's talk about what separates the good sailors from the truly great ones. Today, we're diving into the art and science of sailboat tuning. And let me tell you, it is a game of millimeters and degrees, a world of insane precision.
So, just look at this picture for a second. You've got a whole fleet of identical boats, right? All of them have elite athletes at the helm. So, what's the difference maker? What gives one team that tiny edge? 9 times out of 10, it comes down to tuning. We're talking about those tiny, super meticulous adjustments that turn a regular boat into a finely tuned racing machine.
And here's the thing you've got to get right away. The race for speed, it doesn't actually start when the gun goes off. Nope, it starts way before that, on shore. It's all about building this blueprint for precision, laying the groundwork for everything that's going to happen out on the water.
And what's at the heart of that blueprint? It's one word: consistency. Think about it. If you can't repeat your settings, how will you ever really know what's making you fast? It's impossible. So the whole goal here is to create a baseline you can always come back to, something totally repeatable time after time.
So how do you build that baseline? Well, there are kind of 4 main commandments you got to follow. First up, use the exact same tools every single time. Your ruler, your tension gauge, whatever. This gets rid of any weird variables. Second, always tune when it's calm out. You want accurate readings, right? No wind messing things up? Third, on the boat, the skipper and crew need to have their routine down pat so every tweak is made the same way. And last but not least, always measure with the jib down. You know, that smaller sail up front? Because if it's up, it's going to pull on the rig and throw all your numbers off.
But if there's one rule to rule them all, it's this: log everything. I mean it. The settings, the wind speed, how the boat felt under you, how you performed, write it all down. That logbook, it's going to become your personal speed Bible. It's the key to cracking the code on your own performance.
Okay, so you've got your logbook, your speed Bible. But how in the world do you hit those exact numbers when you're out on the water, with all the pressure of a race? Well, the solution is actually pretty genius in its simplicity. You make your settings visual. You pre-mark everything, and I mean everything, with clear, easy-to-see lines.
And look, we're not just talking about a little mark here or there. No way. This is a full-on, comprehensive system of reference points. You're marking your spreaders, those are the struts on the mast, to nail your sail trim. You're marking your shroud pin positions for rig tension. You're even marking controls like the boom vang and the outhaul, which shape the mainsail. Every single one of those marks becomes a visual shortcut, a cheat code to repeatable speed.
All right, so you've done your homework. You've built that solid, consistent baseline on shore. Awesome. But now for the fun part. Let's take that blueprint out on the water and talk about how you adapt it on the fly, because you know those race conditions are always changing.
So you gotta wonder, right? How do the absolute top teams pull this off? How do they take that baseline setup and just perfectly tweak it for a light breeze 1 minute and then a massive gust the next? I'll tell you one thing, they are definitely not guessing. What they have is a super detailed tuning guide. This here is a great example for the 470 and 420 classes. And you can really think of it as their ultimate cheat sheet. It literally connects the wind strength to exact settings for everything: rig tension, where the mast should be, even where the crew needs to sit. It's like a roadmap to being fast in pretty much any condition you can imagine.
Now, that chart can look a little overwhelming, so let's just boil it down to the basics. Let's compare 2 extremes. In light winds, say under 7 knots, the name of the game is creating power. So you want everything looser, softer. The rig is loose, the crew scoots forward, the sails get nice and full. But now, flip that. In strong wind, over 15 knots, it's the complete opposite. You've got too much power, so you need to depower. Everything gets super tight, the crew gets as far back as they can go, and you flatten those sails out. See, it's this beautiful dance of adapting your power to whatever the wind is doing. Okay, so we've got the boat totally dialed in, but we're only talking about half the equation here. The boat, that's just the machine. The sailors, they're the engine. And this is where we get into something called kinetics, where human movement literally becomes horsepower.
So what in the world is kinetics? Simply put, it's using your body on purpose, your weight, your movements, your every action to make the boat do what you want it to do. This is especially true in a small, responsive dinghy. It's way more than just steering with a rudder. You're literally steering with your whole body.
And to do it right, to make it really effective, it boils down to 4 key things. You need perfect timing. You need the correct technique for every single move. You have to apply just the right amount of force, not too much, not too little. And maybe most importantly, you need absolutely seamless communication between the skipper and the crew. You have to move as one. And when you look at how the pros do it, The level of detail is just mind-blowing. I mean, every single action you can think of, attack, a jibe, even something as simple as steering through a wave, it's broken down into this incredibly precise, choreographed dance. Each person knows their role, and every single movement has a purpose.
Let's just zoom in on a simple tack, for example. Look at this. Stage 1. The skipper starts the turn. Then, as the boat glides through the wind, watch how the crew and skipper swap sides in perfect sync. And then, bam! As the sail fills with wind, they both hike out hard together to flatten the boat and just explode with speed. It's just precision in motion. It's beautiful.
So we've covered the boat, and we've covered the sailors, the machine and the engine, but there's one more piece that ties it all together, and that's the mindset. The final, critical piece of the puzzle is realizing that the hunt for more speed, well, it never ever ends. It's a constant process of tweaking and learning.
And here's the honest truth. There's no magic bullet here. You're not going to find one perfect setting that works forever. It just doesn't exist. Real sustainable speed comes from patience. It comes from committing yourself to that endless cycle of testing, logging what you find, and learning from it, day in and day out.
You know, there's this really powerful idea in sailing called the no-lose approach. And this quote just nails it. You may not win every race, but you can learn from each one. I love that. It means every time you go out, you come back better.
And really, that's the big takeaway from all of this. Every different condition you face is just another data point for your logbook. Every race is a new chance to make your tuning guide even better. See, the goal isn't just to be fast on a perfect sunny day. The goal is to build the knowledge, to build the skill, to be fast in any condition. If you focus on the learning, trust me, the results are going to follow.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. And it doesn't just apply to sailing. It applies to pretty much anything you're trying to get better at. What's the one small tweak, the one tiny, consistent adjustment you could make today that's going to make you just a little bit faster, a little bit better tomorrow?